Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Now, I get a lot of comments, emails, questions and what have you from many of you guys asking if it's possible to come to Pattaya alone, because many of you have friends who can't come for various reasons. Maybe they're married, maybe they have a girlfriend who found out about Pattaya and doesn't want them to go. Maybe they can't afford it, maybe they can't get time off work, but you have the time and you are available. And you may be in a position where you have both time and money, but your friends don't. So, can you come on your own? Absolutely yes. I imagine some of you guys are wondering where on earth we are with all this junk dropped on the floor and what have you. But in fact, we're at Teprasit Road, and on Teprasit Road, there's the main big Teprasit night market, evening market, weekend market, whatever you want to call it. But just about 50 meters, 50 yards down the road from there is the second-hand market, which very rarely gets shown. So I thought I'd give you a quick whiz round it for 4 or 5 minutes before we go on and have a look again at the main Teprasit market. This is like, you get a lot of expats or locals, basically people who want to save money, coming to this second-hand market. A lot of stuff here. You get electrical goods, you get clothes, you get shoes, you get all sorts. And if you are living here and on a budget, no reason why you can't come and have a look. There might be something that suits you. And then we'll just walk up, as I said, 50 meters up the road, and then we'll go to the market. So the subject we're talking about is, can you come alone? Now, just to get into a little bit of chat about coming alone, some people seem to be afraid to come alone, but in fact, in my opinion, you're far better off. When I very first came, many years ago, when I first came with 3 friends, and what I found was that each person wanted to do something different at a different time. One would want to go eating and the other ones were hungry. They would want to go to a particular bar, and 2 of them would want to go to a particular bar, and the third one wouldn't. They would want to go somewhere else. And things like that is what generally happens. And I found it very restricting. I really did. But maybe I'm being selfish there, but I preferred to choose where I wanted to go without having to consult with other people. Now, it's possible you could come with an experienced friend the first or second time, but after that, I much prefer to be alone. But it all depends on you, everyone's different. I mean, some people love company. They love to go out with a bunch of friends and go to a bar and have banter all night. Other people prefer to be able to choose when to go, not to stay in one place, to move on and everything. Everyone's different. But the main question is, if you do prefer to be alone, are you safe? Absolutely, yes, 100% in my opinion, you are. I mean, what you really should do is you should learn Pattaya a little bit. You should watch a whole bunch of my videos and other people's videos to learn as much as you can about where things are, and have a look at a map. Get a Google map, open it up on your computer preferably, because it's much bigger, you see better than a phone, and have a look. I mean, like Wangamat's in the north, which is fairly quietish, and then you've got the main Pattaya in the centre, and then you've got Jomtien in the south and Pratonaka in between. So you need to learn the areas and what's available in what areas. So you need to do some research about where you want to stay, and then book a hotel in that area. But I suggest you only book it for 1 week if you're staying for 2 or 3 or 4, because you may find it's right next to a bar which has music blasting till 4 a.m. You don't want that. The main market itself, so this is the bottom end of it, So we'll just have a wander through. Some of you have seen it before, but it's really got so much stuff, such a big market. And this was Saturday evening, just as the sun was going down, which is when it opens, So anyway, as I was saying, I would suggest that if it's your first time, or if you're coming for the first time alone, you don't come in peak season when it's really busy. It's just so much easier to find your way around when it's not crowded, and also the idea of booking a hotel only for a week and then changing and stuff, can't really do that when it's very busy in high season, peak season. It's much easier to do this sort of chopping and changing in the lower part of the season. So I would suggest that for the first time, or that you're alone, you come in the lower season and book a hotel for a week, and then you won't have a problem. You can change it, you can move, if you want to. Other thing is, when you're wandering around, you need to have a copy of your passport, just a photocopy, and a contact phone number for someone at home in your own country in case something happens. You never know. And also keep a photocopy of your travel insurance, because if you're coming on holiday, you will have travel insurance. So keep a copy of that on you at all times, because if something happened, if you're knocked down by a car or whatever, and you had to go to hospital, they want to know who you are and if you've got insurance. If you've got it in your pocket, then they know. So there's no problem, And another thing that are a little bit of a warning is be careful who you befriend. There are some expats here who are struggling for money and what have you, and you need to really avoid people like that, Now, if you're coming alone, you have complete freedom, obviously, to go wherever you like. You've got in the daytime, if you don't stay out too late and you get up at a reasonable time, I would think you should go look at a few things, not just go to bars and go to sleep, and go to bars and go to sleep. Have a look at stuff. Get the ferry to Koh Lan, have a look round, go and see the Sanctuary of Truth, which is absolutely beautiful, all hand carved, really something special. Go to look at the markets, like this market, for example. And obviously there are many other markets in the city centre. This one's a little bit further out. Try to do something different that you've never done before. And I bet a lot of you guys have never been to a soapy, because I hadn't. The first time I came, I didn't even know what a soapy was. But you've got to go. It's a little bit on the high price side, but you've got to go once. You really have. It's just, it's good fun, but it's a little bit expensive. Another thing is, always, if you want to go and have a look around, regarding nightlife, go to Walking Street. If you haven't been before, go and have a look in a bar, in a go-go bar. Have a look in one. Just have one drink and have a look, and then check out the prices with the mama sign, and you'll be quite shocked. And then you can leave, and you know the score then. But that's the way it is at the moment. And it will remain like that, because of the Asians don't care about spending money, so they come on a long weekend or whatever, for. It's only 5 hours flight from Seoul, so it's very easy for them. But anyway, if you're going to be wandering around on your own, which you are, you tend to get approached, especially on your own. I walk around on my own a lot, obviously doing videos and stuff, and I get approached, as in fact I did in the last but one video, if you remember. But it happens a lot if you're on your own. And you'll get touts approaching you. Just wave them off. Just say no, thank you, and walk by. Selling all the silly things on Walking Street. The ping pong shows and all that nonsense. Just walk away. Also, if you especially if it's later at night. You shouldn't be doing too much walking later at night. But if you do, and there's a group of ladyboys anywhere, cross the road and walk down the other side of the road. Don't go walking right past a group of ladyboys late at night. Just a little bit of advice there, you know. It's not something. It's not advisable. Okay. Now, another thing which you will learn. I mean, food is really, really, really cheap in Thailand. Really, Thai food is very cheap. But a lot of people don't realise. Obviously, there's the food barrows, but maybe you don't want to go on those. And there's a Thai restaurants. Again, but maybe you don't like too spicy. But another thing is, which people don't realise, is that food courts are in Central Festival and in Big C and in Terminal 21. They've all got food courts. Now, another thing is, upstairs in Big C, they actually sell pre-cooked food, and some of it's very, very nice. I mean, they have a complete mixture. I've seen like barbecue spare ribs, really nice looking ones, and beef lasagna, and they have obviously they have sushi and stuff like that. Obviously that's not cooked, but I mean they have lots of food in places like Big C, which is very cheap. You know, you can eat yourself alone for nothing, for peanuts, really, you know. Now, like I said before, if you're on your own, you can wander around and just have a good look. Now, if you're not sure where you are, use Google Maps, you know. It's great, it's wonderful, really useful. And also Google Translate is another thing. Yeah, and learn how to use it, because there's a conversation button where you can press for English and press for Thai, and you can chat to somebody using the conversation button, which is quite handy. So learn how to use that. You know, I mean, another thing to do is download the Bolt Taxi app. Because it's very cheap and it's handy, and at night you don't want to be wandering around on your own. You really don't. You're better off getting a Bolt taxi, or in fact, obviously they're also much cheaper and more reliable than a motorbike taxi. In fact, you can get a car, especially in low season when it's not so busy. You can get a car for the same price as a normal motorbike taxi, really, on Bolt, you know. I mean, another thing, again, you're on your own, you're vulnerable, you know. So don't wear expensive jewellery, especially gold. Do not wear gold anywhere on your holiday at all. No gold at all. And no expensive watches. Just a few trinkets or whatever, some like a little bracelet. Like you've seen me wear, I've got a blue one on my wrist, which sort of has EP on it, which is for the channel. It's not worth anything, but you know, I mean, you can wear something that's not of obvious value, you know. Another thing you should do is when you do stay in your hotel, get a business card from the hotel, so that you can give that to either the taxi driver if you use a taxi, or you can check how the name is written properly and spelled properly when you put it into your Bolt app, so you've got it so it comes out correctly and you go to the right place, you know. So things like that. Another thing is, don't keep all you take cash out. You do not ever use bank cards, okay, in Pattaya, never, except for a supermarket and a bank and maybe a good hotel, and that's it. You do not use bank cards. If you're thinking of paying for your drinks in a go-go bar with a bank card, you're crazy, because they'll just copy it and you'll end up in your own country a month later with some money disappearing from your bank, saying what the hell's happened there, you know. That's what happens here. So do not use your bank cards. It's all cash, all right? I mean, the locals don't use it. They use like telephone scans, but it's different for them, because they use something like True Wallet, which has a very limited amount of money on. So it's a few hundred baht or something will be on the wallet. So it doesn't matter about that. There's nothing they can take, you know. So they use that all the time, scanning things like True Wallet all the time. When you'll see them when they go to the supermarket, but there's no risk because it's not a card and there's no money in the account except for a few hundred baht. That's why there's no risk. As I said before, you're vulnerable on your own, so don't take a wad of money out in one pocket. Always separate it in. If you've got like cargo pants or something, you can put it in 3 or 4 pockets, or you've got jeans, front pockets, back pockets. Spread the money about. So when you dig in your pocket and you pull out a wad, it's not a big wad, it's a smaller wad. So it doesn't look so bad, and you end up not being so much of a target. Somebody sees like a whole bunch of 10,000 baht in your hand, you become a target straight away, you know. So spread your money about, especially when you're alone. It's much more risky, that, isn't it? Just going back to what we were saying before about being alone, as opposed to with some mates, is the freedom it gives you. You know, you might suddenly come across some new friend, and you want to change your plan and then go somewhere else. You can do all of that if you're on your own. You can't. In fact, what can happen, in fact, the opposite can happen. If you go with a friend, it did happen to me years ago, and I would start talking to somebody, and the friend would say, "Oh, I wanted to talk to that person," and you get a bit of a conflict. That can happen. You both like the same new friend, you know, that can happen easily, and it doesn't, obviously, if you're on your own. So that's one of the main reasons as well why I much prefer to be on my own. But freedom, just to change your plans instantly when you come across someone that you like. That is worth its weight in gold, really. It's really good to be able to do that. And just, so okay, you meet somebody, we'll go to a bar, we'll go to a club, we'll go somewhere, whatever. And then you can, you feel a bond with the person straight away because you both say, okay, let's go here together. And then it's just you and that new person, your new friend. And you're free. You're completely free. That's what it's all about, and that's what I love about it. Being alone is the freedom. You know? So anyway, let's have a look at how we've covered about nearly 20 minutes on this one, this little subject. Okay, so tell me what you think, guys. If you prefer to be alone. I mean, a lot of you do come alone. I know. A lot of you come in groups. The other day, someone emailed me and said, I'm coming a group of 5 people. Where shall we go? We want to all be like mates together. Fine. If that's what you want, absolutely fine. But that's not what this video is about. Okay. Anyway, you've had a little look at Pattaya Market, haven't you? It's a nice food court, actually. Nice bunch of food. Anyway, I'll wrap up the video there. Okay, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Did you like my new friend with the sort of orange hair for a change? Tell me what you think. Okay, guys. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.